Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to a new video today. So today I'm going to be bringing you guys an IGTV episode of my match day earlier this week in my 2019/2020 preseason for the upcoming 2019 and 2020 season. Unfortunately, I could not get the first half recorded, but I do have the second half for you guys here. And yeah, let's get underway and I'll walk you through my decision making and my thought process on the pitch. It's right there, I received the ball and then I played it to one of my teammates just to get the ball flowing. So right here in this clip, my teammates do a good job of putting the opposition midfielder under pressure and he loses the ball. My first instinct was just to keep it simple and pass up to the wingers with minimal touches and just get the ball flowing. What ended up happening here is that the opposition team kind of rattled one of the players on my team to the point where he thought the ball went off the pitch and the ball didn't. So the ref called it for a free kick, and with that, considering it was my first time even playing with this team, I just had the confidence and I took the ball and I said I'm going to take set pieces. It's something that I worked on a lot in obviously the 2018-2019 season. But it's weared off a bit in terms of the quality I can produce just because I haven't practiced as much. But I think this was a good ball I put into the box. I put it into a danger area, in the 6 yard box, but no one really gambled on it. But yeah, I think it was a really good ball. Now, just to add a bit of context to this clip and what's happening in this match. To be honest, this whole off season or preseason, however you want to call it, I've been pushing myself into the world of men's football. I felt like I'm physically ready for it. I want to take on the mental challenge of it, and I want to push myself technically. I remember the first training session I had with the men's team. It was kind of tough. I made a few mistakes, but after that, I thrived off it. I liked the intensity, the action of it, and I put myself in that environment. So in contrast to my teammates, actually, I was playing with boys who are under 16s, so they hadn't actually been used to playing guys who were older than them, and I could tell they were a lot mentally and physically inexperienced. But for me, the team that I was actually playing here today was the team of my academy manager, and he has a first team outside of our academy, and I'd actually gone down the week before and I trained with him, and I felt like I did well, but just because of the time I came and circumstances, he already had his squad picked out on people he wanted, and I won't kill him for that. There's nothing wrong there. And just in this clip, it was just me putting pressure on the centre midfielder's back and just causing him to make a mistake and creating a chance and not creating an opportunity. Sorry, for one of my teammates to possibly get shot on goal. And all that was me reading the play and actually seeing from the minute the defender picked up the ball, I knew he was going to try to find a pass into midfield. So I didn't go pressing the centre midfielder straight away. I gave him space, and the minute I saw the ball coming to him, I knew I wouldn't go win a tackle because I knew that could potentially lead to a foul because of his body position. So I came from the back slightly, and just as he was going to receive the ball, I jogged the momentum, gave him a little push in the back, and I made him lose his footing, and then it gave us a goal scoring opportunity. So yeah, going into the match, I had a little bit of a chip on my shoulder because I wanted to prove to my academy manager and the place he chose that I had more than improved. I was ready to show my improvements and that I could play at this level. And the craziest thing was that before the match even started, I didn't know I was going to be playing with the under 16 squad. I thought I'd be playing with the actual men I've been training with. But it was a shock on the day. But what it allowed me to do was that because I knew it was this boy's first time, it gave me the space to be confident on the pitch, and they respected me enough to listen. So that really helped me on the pitch. And the end result of the game may have said otherwise, but I feel like maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Me having a squad of boys who were just a year younger and boys listening to me, that gave me the platform to be able to display my confidence and display my leadership skills, and that was evident to me and everyone watching. As you just saw in that little clip, I was the most vocal player on the pitch, and I didn't care how far away you were, you heard me and you saw me. So I felt like it was a great platform for me to show my skill. And now we've got that out of the way, I want to talk about something really important that for every football player goes through. I think something we should tackle and deal with. So right here, the keeper passes the ball to the right back, and obviously I come in midfield, so I come for the ball and I try to get ball. And I remember his response being to me when I tried to go get the ball was, "You'd lose the ball, so I'm not going to give it to you." And the day before, me and him, we were in the men's training session, so I was familiar with him, and just having that negative energy around. At first, it was a little startling and rattling for me because I'm someone who, the minute I take negative energy, it just frees and it starts breathing in my mind, and negative energy starts spouting. But because I just built the self confidence to implement myself on the pitch and implement my presence with the team, I wasn't going to let that put me down, and I kept going. And I remember after the game, he said not some hurtful comments, but some comments that kind of got into my head, and I addressed it. And a lot of it was just that he didn't trust me enough on the ball. And I understood where it was coming from a certain point of view. You know, the day before in training, we were playing a keep ball session, and I wasn't doing the fundamentals right. I was giving the ball away a few times, and sometimes when you're a younger player playing with older men, that's all they need. That's all they need to dislike you. Or sometimes is that they feel threatened, and I believe so to a certain extent. I'm a 17-year-old coming into a field of 20-something-year-olds. I'm there, I'm fit, I'm competing, and I'm there. And sometimes they will feel threatened. And sometimes when people tell you negative comments, sometimes even though you want to say quote unquote block out the haters, no, in tune the haters. Use that negative energy and use it for your own good. Hear what they're saying. If he's saying that, I don't trust you. Look at why he says he doesn't. Look at why he says he doesn't trust you. But I know the reason why he said he doesn't trust me because he believed that my technical ability and my awareness on the ball wasn't good enough to receive the ball. So instead of using that energy and saying I'm going to block out the haters, in tune the haters and go work on it. Go work on it. Use that energy to drive you. Because the minute you use that energy that you got from that douchebag on the pitch, the minute you use it and then you go train and work on that weakness, by the time you come to training now, you're more confident. The next time he tries that, because you've worked on it now, you are a lot more confident in your ability. And that's self-doubt stops. So I just thought that that's a really important message for me to reiterate to you guys while you watch the footage. Because, it was something that I had to look at myself straight after the game and address. I got my notebook, I wrote about it, and maybe in the coming videos and the coming posts, I'll post about just how to deal with negative energy and how to use it for your own good and for your best interest on the pitch. Because at the end of the day, for me, it just pointed out a few weaknesses of my game I need to work on. For example, my head run. For example, taking a good first touch, not in terms of pulling the ball out of the air, but taking a variety of good first touch while identifying the space around me. Stuff I need to work on, and don't be afraid to admit it. Me and him had a few miscommunications from headers or passes, and it happens. It's my first time playing on the field with him, and his reaction to it was spouting negative energy, and I will not drop down to that. I know I'm a good player, I know I work hard, and I know I will improve. So that's what you need to remember when someone tries to spout negative energy at you. But now that's out the way, and we finished talking about how to deal with annoying, sorry for my language, dickhead douchebags. Um, let's get into the game and let's analyze this and let's just see how we can become better players, and I can kind of show you the environment that I was playing in and the circumstances. So right here, to be honest, in the second half, our team went under the cosh. They were completely under the cosh, and I was just trying to move around the midfield. I hadn't played in midfield for a bit. As you can see, I'm just there on the screen with number 7, and yeah, I hadn't played in midfield for a little bit, but it wasn't anything too crazy. I felt like I've improved at a technical level where me playing in midfield was not a problem. I thought maybe what I did do in the second half a bit was maybe I did hide a bit, maybe from the ball, just because of the negative energy that was coming at me, and I was trying to, just dictate how play would flow. Because at the end of the day, they had a completely different squad to the squad they had on in the first half. So, I kind of found my feet in the first half and I was liking the spots I was picking. And then, in the second half, obviously that changed because they had new personnel. And new personnel means, that's a completely different game now. They're not even playing with the same players. But yeah, so now, in this clip, in the upcoming videos and the IGTV videos I do, and videos in the future I do, just analyzing players, a big thing I want to emphasize is protecting the ball with your body. Right here, the opposing defender did that, and he put his body in between me and the ball, and I ended up finding it hard to get the ball off him. And I think maybe something I can do here to, obviously get across a player who's a lot wider and bigger than me is I can use a little tactical trick. Once I'm there and he can feel my presence on his left side of his body, what I should do is tap him on his left shoulder. And the minute that ball moves to his right foot there, that's when I go in for the tackle. Right there. That would have been a good time to go in for the tackle. So I think that's maybe something I could have done better and a little trick I can learn. Now I'm analysing it. And yeah, just going over what I said earlier. A little bit of lack of communication between me and the fullback on the throwing led to the fact that I didn't win the header, but at the same time, I felt like for me, I could have done a lot better. I could have done a better job of timing that. That's why I say, of course, a weakness in my game is headroom, and that's something I need to work on, and especially the timing of it. Something I like to practice a lot is that, standing next to a defender, then at the last second, bam, you explode off. And I thought probably what made me be caught off guard is that, I ended up being flat footed and my foot was stuck in the ground, meaning by the time the ball was up in the air and with the surface of the pitch, it would be super hard for me to readjust. You're gonna just see in this sequence, literally, the fullback kept throwing in the ball, and the ball kept going out for throws. He just kept throwing the ball, and it kept going out for throws. And we were just gradually moving up the pitch until someone won the ball, and I gambled there. I saw the ball going, and I knew there wasn't a possibility of me going and beating four guys. So literally, as that ball got thrown in, I used good anticipation. I saw where the ball was coming, and I came from the blind side of my opposing midfielder, and I got in front, and I knew, look, there's space, but with the way he's tugging on me, I'm just not gonna go and put myself in that danger position. As you can see, as they literally have four opposing players that are coming out there and would meet me as soon as I went into clear space. So I thought the best option was that I throw a bit of contact on my foot, so I went down. I won a free kick, and I stabilized the game for my team and won us away that we could push up the field and potentially create a goal scoring opportunity. And I was just looking at this delivery and this set piece into the box. I was adamant on wanting to take on my left foot, and I did see a little run that one of my teammates did, but the ref didn't blow his whistle yet, so I couldn't really start playing yet. But I did try find someone at the back post, but I felt I did loft the ball really high. So by the time my striker would have gone to it, it would have been a little tough for him. But it wasn't a bad ball at all. But I definitely want to work on my crossing and just keeping that ball low and getting a lot more spin on it. But yeah, and nextly in this clip, this was towards the end of the game. And right here, I just won the ball, did a good one to the striker. He played me through. And right here, I looked up and then I rushed it. I felt like this part of my game has improved over the course of years. Before I'd be through on goal, and then instead of looking up, I'd look down and just go into my own little world. I think now I'm a bit older and I'm a bit wiser, and I know to look up and assess the field. And maybe there, right there, instead of going first time for the pass and being unbalanced, maybe I do a little fake shot and then boom, even down the line and get closer to goal, and then maybe pick a better option. But yeah, and that completes this episode of my IGTV game analysis. Guys, if you like the video, make sure to drop a like, make sure to share, make sure to comment, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.